What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Crypto Cabin. My name is Tom, and in this video today I'm going to be going over my $500 to $5,000 Ethereum challenge, my $500 to $5,000 Bitcoin challenge, as well as just doing a brief overview of the cryptocurrency markets as a whole as of today. So, without any further ado, let's jump right on in here. We're going to start off by doing a quick overview of the cryptocurrency markets. Look at, geez, I haven't looked at this. Dogecoin's a top 10 coin. That is hilarious. Love it. I personally don't own any Doge. If you do, you are sitting pretty right now. And in my opinion, you should be considering taking some profits, at least that initial investment off the table. So you're playing with house money at this point, because this has been quite the run up here. Oh, like look at that. Jeez. That is absolutely insane. Anyways, the market cap as a whole, we are firmly over $2 trillion. So you've seen like this line here at the top here is 2 trillion. So if we zoom in even a little bit more here, so we did test it once, kind of twice, 3 times. We kind of hovered around there before finally breaking out above that $2 trillion mark, and I believe now we are firmly above that $2 trillion mark, and we may come back down to retest that number, but I feel like we are up over 2 trillion for, maybe not forever, but for a good, so for the rest of this bull run. Looking at the altcoins market cap as a whole, so this is everything excluding Bitcoin, we have just finally reached over $1 trillion for the altcoin market cap, which is absolutely insane. In addition to Dogecoin pumping, that is usually a big indicator that we are about to see some even bigger gains for some of the other altcoins or altcoins in general. Let's take a look at the gainers for last week. Dogecoin, obviously. Maker, XRP having a huge run. VeChain, super pumped about that one. You can see just a lot of green and like high numbers in green for the last 7 or 24 hours. Same thing. Dogecoin, Maker, Ethereum Classic. I'm wondering if people, like newer people, are coming in and thinking that they're actually buying Ethereum when they're buying Ethereum Classic. I hope not. They may be sorely disappointed. And then we got a lot of, honestly, like DeFi. DeFi is back. Maker, Curve, Compound. DeFi is making another run at it. So if we look at this, this is some pretty awesome action. I know Bitcoin got its pump to new all-time highs recently here, but since then it's kind of stalled out. And when Bitcoin kind of starts trading sideways or just kind of slightly in the upwards direction, that is a really good, that looks parabolic, right? But 20K, but you can see like since I don't know, this isn't completely updated here, but when we have this sort of kind of sideways action, Bitcoin's been kind of hovering between 56,000 and what we're at right now, 63.5. It's kind of been hovering in that $7,000 range since pretty much March 11th there. We did dip down to 52, but we've been in the same range for almost a month. And when that starts happening, people kind of get bored with Bitcoin and they start pumping money into alts. So that's why I believe we are going to see a little bit more of an altcoin run here. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't go up. I think we still are primed to go up a little bit further here. But we'll talk about my trade here. All right, so for those of you who have been following me over on TikTok as well, don't forget to do that. My link to my TikTok profile will be in the comments or in the description below. So go and check that out as well if you want to follow me over there. But I was doing a $500 to $5,000 challenge here, which, as you can see, has been accomplished. So that is awesome. Currently in a trade. I was stacking up a little bit every time we dipped down here. So kind of what happened was, you can see I've got a lot of lines here. They're kind of at significant levels of where Bitcoin has shown support and resistance. So we were trading this in this kind of downward sloping pattern here, and I entered a trade as soon as we broke out of this, above this line here. So my first entry was right around 58, 58.6, 58.7, something like that. I bought my first little bit. It pumped all the way up here, which was awesome, but I didn't take any profits yet. I felt like I had more to go. Didn't get too scared here, but I actually had another buy order set down here for 58.3, I believe, because I thought it was going to come down to retest. It did. It didn't quite get filled there though. And then we kind of started pumping up, which was awesome. And then I saw this this pattern forming here, this kind of wedge or symmetrical triangle. And then again, once we broke out of there, I put in another position at 61, just over 61,000, and rode that all the way up. Actually ended up taking some profits. So this is the measured move here, this target here. So this I took from here, measured move, took that to above there. So I saw that this was going to be right at around 64,000-ish dollars. I actually ended up taking profits at around 63.3, I believe. I took out half of my trade. Whenever these measured moves happen, I usually like to take a look at what, like I don't want, if you're going to get all the way up to the top, that is very, well, obviously did end up happening, so I could have still stayed in, but to be safe, I usually go like 1 to 1.5% below the top. So I took it at about 63.3. Like I said, I took about half out. So I locked in profits on this trade. There was no way that I could lose this trade now. And then I was still in it, so I didn't exit my trade entirely. It did end up going all the way up to almost 65K. And then I'd had another buy order set right here at about 61.5, I believe. I put it just above that, so I caught that on this wick. And that is where I am currently sitting at right now in this Bitcoin trade. So I've got almost just over $2,000 in this trade. Currently up quite a bit on it, which I'm pretty pumped about. So we're up 67% there, and I think that we are in pretty good shape to keep going up. However, I do have a stop loss set in profit here at 62.2, because we are forming, if we look at the, if we kind of look at a bigger time frame here, let's go to the 4 hour, we are forming this kind of ascending wedge, which is typically a bearish pattern. So I want to cover my bases and make sure that I'm not going to, go way negative here. But we are forming an ascending wedge, which is typically, like I said, a bearish pattern. You can see kind of a descending wedge here. That's usually a bullish pattern, and we broke out. Ascending wedges typically are bearish, but I just watched a video actually today from Randall from Crypto Love, who showed that with Bitcoin anyway, Bitcoin in a bull market, 50% of the time it breaks to the upside on an ascending wedge like this. 25% of the time it's broken to the downside, and 25% of the time it's kind of gone sideways and gone flat. So we shall see. We are kind of trading right near the top of this wedge right now. So I do have, like I said, I've got a stop loss set in profit so I don't lose anything. And if we do come back down, I've got buy orders set a little bit lower here as well, just to make sure that I can capitalize on that if we do have a good solid correction and I won't be out of any money at all. And last but certainly not least, let's take a look at what is going on with Ethereum right now. Absolutely pumping. We've breached the $2,500 mark, which is absolutely insane. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming at some point, that we were going to get to this $2,500 mark, but it is finally here. So here's what my charts kind of look like for Ethereum right now. I've got some spider lines drawn here, I guess. So here's kind of, start with this red line here. So this red line goes all the way back. This is the major kind of trend. And then as we can see, it's just kind of taken another leap up here to this purple line here. Was the new trend line. And now we may be going even more parabolic after that. But we'll need to wait and see. As far as, I'm not in a trade right now on Ethereum, like there is not I'm not able to find a lot of very good entries at this point. Well, basically, for the last few days, almost any entry point would have been good. You could have probably gotten away with it. But in the last couple of days, it's been really tough for me to see, because I'm not watching these all the time, right? Like I've got a different job as well, so I'm unable to watch these all the time. But like the best opportunity to get in looks like it was right here. After we kind of dipped down from 2410, 2405 all the way back down to 2300. If you would have got in on that wick there, that was your best entry point in this last little while. But other than that, it has been straight up, and when it's going straight up, I get a little hesitant on where to find a good spot to get in. And I was looking at these kind of spider lines here as well for a potential good entry. You can see this yellow line. This goes all the way back here to, what's that, January 10th, where this started forming a kind of resistance here. Then it formed support, and then once it broke down below that, we came back up and tested it as support once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times before we eventually broke through that. So I did end up getting into a couple half decent trades, but I just started this challenge a couple days ago, like early last week. So I did get into a good trade when we dipped down to this support line here, because I thought we were starting to form some sort of a trend after this big dip. I did, and it bounced here. Then I kind of knew that this was going to be a new support line here, as well as this was that where I kind of drew all of the intersections for the spider line. So I did get into a trade right at around 1945, which was absolutely perfect. And then I've been setting really, really tight stop losses with Ethereum, so I keep getting stopped out. But in my opinion, like, I'm okay with taking a little small. I mean, yeah, obviously I could have way bigger profits here, but you can see how volatile it can be. Like, you can get liquidated so fast, and with a small account for this challenge that I'm starting with, you need to be super cautious. I don't put in very much into each position at all, so I'm putting no more than 25% into each trade, so that I've got something more left to come back and play another day if things go south. So I did get into a trade right there, like I said, got stopped out, and then it came back down to the purple line, got into another trade right around 2110, 2115. Again, got stopped out, and I haven't found a good entry point ever since then. I wish I hadn't got stopped out here, because that was absolutely, I would have for sure been able to ride this all the way up to 2400 from 21, which would have been absolutely massive. But that's the way that it works sometimes. And I mean, I don't have any positions even set right now because I'm not finding a really great entry point. I mean, maybe if we come back down to, like I said, maybe if we come down to test this orange line now as support, maybe I'll put it, but that's still super close to the all-time high, right? It could come all the way back down to retest this yellow line down here. I feel like this yellow line that I've got here has been some really solid support and resistance the whole time. So that is maybe where I'd be looking to enter position, but it's really, really hard to tell at this point. So I'm gonna be staying patient with Ethereum. But as we can see, started this with $500, and part of this is obviously due to Ethereum increasing in value, but I have had quite a few successful trades since then, so we're up a little bit there. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and if you do want to start trading and potentially join me in on this $500 to $5,000 ETH trade, ETH challenge, and as well, as soon as I get to 0.01 Bitcoin over here, I'm going to be taking on a 0.1 Bitcoin. Once I get to 0.1 on this account, I am going to be taking on a 0.1 to 1 Bitcoin challenge. So my ultimate goal from all of these trading challenges is ultimately to gain more value in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? We know that the US dollar value of these coins does not mean everything. So looking to stack up as much Bitcoin and Ethereum as I possibly can. Ultimate goal, 1 Bitcoin. Ultimate goal, 10 Ethereum. So if you want to follow along, please do. Please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you get notified when I post new videos. Like the video, that helps the algorithm spread it out to a lot of different people as well if they're interested. And then I'm going to post the links below to Phemex and to Bybit. Those are the two platforms that I have been trading on here, and you can come join me there. If you sign up with one of my links, you get a little bit of a sign up bonus. That helps me, and then you also get a bonus which you can trade with as well, so that helps you out. So fair deal, I would say. So have a great evening, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next one. Let's get it.